Good evening. Thank you so much for watching and welcome to the second edition of News Tonight. It's me, Micheal Lukomwa, and we'll go straight to what we have for you this time round. The contest for the LC2 chairperson seats in Kawempe has gone on smoothly, and in general in this division. In Ket Falao zone, an NRM youth has defeated the incumbent chairman who had spent 30 years in office. From the 7 zones that make up the parish, voters turned up early to vote for their candidates.
Police and the army were called in to calm the situation during the LC2 chairperson elections at Kasui Parish, where candidates failed to agree on procedure. The election was postponed. Peter Tamale, the incumbent chairperson, and Ronald Zibu, the chairperson for Kasui Market, accused the electoral officials of adding people in the register. The person in charge of elections in Rubaga was chased away as Tamale's side accused him of rigging the election. The DPC Odi Kampala, Kenneth Masete, intervened and postponed the election. Meanwhile, the contest for Kawempe 1 parish, Ajimali Mabirizi of the Democratic Party got 20 votes, while Onesimus Mutumba of the NRM Party got 46 votes.
Nangirira omuwanguza wangu Dakalulu Cafe. Omwami George Onesimus Mutumba.
Upon winning, Mutumba nominated his committee, promising to serve without discrimination.
I strongly believe that that service that is going to be rendered by me will be equal to the Muslim fraternity, to the Anglican, to the Catholic, to the Seventies, and all other aspects of life. I'm not going to separate out the people with disability, the youth, the elderly, and all these are going to be served as long as the services that have been provided by the government reach the common person.
People of Kawempe 1, they have given me this opportunity to serve as their general secretary at the parish. I promise that I'm going to be a hardworking person.
From Wandegea Parish, Katale Zone, Mwanje Musa won the seat of LC2 chairperson, beating Elijah Ruhanga. Mwanje Musa won with 29 votes, while the opponent got 14 votes.
Mwanje Musa gasentebe wo muluka gwe Wandegea.
Olukiiko olukadde olubaddeko ebyaddala lubadde lunanfuusi, lubadde lukopi. Twalonda olukiiko nga bwe mulabye wano nga balonda olukiiko, naye bo olumala okuwangwa ne bafuluma geeti eno ye ng'atuuka eri ng'alonda abakulembeze baayagala. Bamwanguyira banywa nabo omwenge. Kati n'olwekyo ffe twataddemu amaanyi nga bannawandegea ne tuleeta Mwanje Musa.
Naye tetubadde mu lutalo ebadde competition.
Yigirako. Yes, bingi byakyasobola omuyigirako era nja kubeera nga mbeebuuzaako nnyabo. Na incumbent yennyini, incumbent naye wali Mwami Salim Ntogo, era bonna nja kubanga nga mbanoonya nga bampa ku magezi kubanga munnange bagamba experience is the best teacher.
Robert Katamba reporting for UBC News in Kampala.
The parish development model has been a privilege to bring former LC2 chairman back to the leadership in Mukono municipality. Voters say they have encouraged the residents to utilize the program and change their lives in the communities.
By 7 a.m., voters' lists were read out as one of the indicators that can certify that a voter must have the national ID and should have a village member committee. In Namumira Anthony Ward in Mukono municipality, with 12 villages with 11 members per village, brings the electorate to 132 voters. The race was between Stephen Chigundu of NRM, also a former chairman, won with 63. Samson Nyonga an independent candidate with 32 votes. Municipality Mayor Robert Kabanda, together with other leaders, highlighted the LC2 leadership, especially on community development.
LC2 is very paramount in the leadership structure because it encompasses the upper cell of the leadership and the lowest cell of the leadership. Usually, what is appealed from the LC1 is handled by LC2 at that level. But better still, the leadership structure of LC2 also is meant to be a legal frame, which is a LC2 court, sometimes called an appellant court at LC2, what's handling issues from the LC1, but also it handles the land issues.
Stephen Chigundu, who won the election, promised to provide better service.
I was working on the program called the Policy Rent Model. That program, every financial year, we have been getting 100 million for financial year. Those are the beneficiaries, 100. That is one person per household. Those are 100 households. So far we have served 350 million. Why I've got these votes, the many votes, and why I've won today is just because of the development, the way I've behaved in the program of the Policy Rent Model, the way I've participated well in that program. That's why people have voted me.
Because he has won, because he has been very active, especially towards the government programs that are supposed to come into our parish. Because one of the major roles of the LOC2 chairperson is to make sure that the government programs, all the government programs, especially the PDM, the Partial Development Model, the GLOW, and all of those government programs come to the people of the parish that he represents.
The parish election officer, Robert Sekiria, explained the situation and what followed during the exercise and thanked the voters for the peaceful elections they made.
We've not experienced any kind of violence or any kind of disturbances from members.
The appointment of the acting chief executive officer of the Insurance Regulatory Authority was contempt of court. This is according to Kaduna Birubega, who is against his successor's appointment, that is Dr. Sande Protasio. Birubega told members of the COSASE committee in Parliament that is the Commission's Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises Committee, that the High Court is yet to pronounce itself on the matter, despite that his contract as CEO expired on the 31st of May this very year.
I, Dr. Sande Protasio, swear by the Almighty God that the evidence I shall give touching the matter before the committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
The management saga at the Insurance Regulatory Authority of Uganda is yet to settle.
As far as the law is concerned, I am the CEO of the Insurance Regulatory Authority of Uganda.
The Parliamentary Committee on Commissions, Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises has not concluded on the legit accounting officer following a deep fight over the Chief Executive Officer of the IRA.
I think we must interrogate these issues together.
It is alleged that the Permanent Secretary and Secretary to the Treasury, Ramadan Gobi, in June 2026 acted on behalf of the Minister for Finance, Planning and Economic Development and appointed Dr. Sande Protasio as acting CEO to replace Ibrahim Kaduna Bilubega, whose contract ended on 31st May 2026. However, IRA officials, including the board chairperson Keto Kayemba, failed to substantiate PSST Gobi's action, leaving the MPs puzzled.
Why I went to court? I went to court, Mr. Chairman, to get justice.
We wrote to the minister after scrutinizing the various heads of departments of the authority. we decided that Dr. Protasio would be the best next person to stand in as acting.
The former IRA board recommended that Kadunabi's contract should not be renewed. This prompted the 16-year IRA CEO to seek legal redress, citing unfair treatment. On May 29, 2026, High Court Civil Division Justice Joyce Kavuma stopped the Insurance Regulatory Authority of Uganda from completing the appointment of a substantive chief executive officer until a case filed by former CEO Ibrahim Lubega is heard and determined.
I had already recommended to the minister not to have Haji Kadunabi's contract renewed. The minister, through the PSST, had requested the Auditor General to carry out a forensic audit to enable him to take action. So what we did was understand the position as it was, wait for the Auditor General's report, which luckily enough came just, I think it was on the 22nd.
Nobody could appoint anybody else unless one is in contempt of court. And if there is any alleged appointment of 1st of June, it is my understanding, honorable members, that that is contempt of court order.
In the audited reports for the financial year ending 2025, IRA management issues were noted among the challenges that needed to be addressed. COSASE committee has summoned PSST Gobi to appear and clarify on the matter.
The subject in issue is on whether we have a substantive or an acting chief executive officer. 2, whether we have an accounting officer.
Daniel Mugoya, UBC News.
That COSASE is very important, and we have.
Police have issued stringent guidelines for the transporting of learners as schools prepare to break off for holidays. Our reporter has it in detail.
All schools will start breaking off for second term holidays beginning this week, with the relevant authorities issuing guidelines to minimize accidents and deaths. Traffic Police spokesperson Michael Kananura told the weekly press briefing in Kampala that guidelines to stakeholders on the transportation of learners back home ensures their safety.
The school administrators and the transport operators to ensure the following. 1, buses to be used in such circumstances must obtain the necessary permission from the Ministry of Works and Transport, where they will be operating outside their usual authorized routes. We all know that these buses, especially the PSV buses, have route charts they operate on. So if they are to violate that and go for these children or students, they must have that clearance from the Ministry of Works and Transport. They must also have valid inspection reports and comply with all the applicable inspection requirements. School transport journeys must be undertaken within the permitted travel period, and that is from 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Beyond that, we will not allow any bus transporting students to move. We shall park them till the time that is recommended for them to move.
The checklist was developed by Ministry of Education and Sports, working together with the Ministry of Works and Transport and Police, although there are exemptions to some students' movements to attend national events and sports activities.
The only exemption we have given as a ministry is for pre-arranged trips for music, dance and drama competitions, sports competitions, and health placements for health training institutions, because these trainees move from their locations to the health facilities. But those ones, we are clearly working with the Uganda Police Force. We've come up with a checklist We simply pass it on to the school and say, yes, you want to do this, but meet these checklist requirements in the meantime.
The suspension on transporting learners was a result of recurring accidents involving learners.
We are also requiring for mandatory vehicle inspection. Vehicle inspection undertaken by the Ministry of Works, working with the Uganda Police Force under the Inspectorate of Vehicles. You will not be allowed to transport learners if your vehicle does not have the mandatory clearance, and that is the minimum requirement in the checklist. We are asking that every student or pupil who boards a bus or means of land transport must be on the list, a pre-approved list, and it will be provided to the police, so that at any one time we should know which children or students have boarded a means of transport for a study tour or trip.
Over the weekend, police intercepted 10 buses transporting learners to the United Republic of Tanzania for sports activity. The buses were stopped at the Anjero traffic police checkpoint.
6 buses that were intercepted belong to Gombe Secondary School, Seroma Christian High School, Nabisunsa Girls Secondary School, St. Cyprian High School, Chabakade, Light College Katkam, and Katkam SDA Secondary School. The enforcement exercise established various violations that included expired badges, driving without badges, driving out of class, and some bus did not have PSV nor PMO.
The strict regulations on the transportation of learners follow rising cases of road crashes involving school shuttles and other vehicles transporting learners for study trips.
The 36th Ordinary Policy Organs meeting of the East Africa Standby Force has officially opened in Kampala, making a major milestone in regional security cooperation. The meeting brings together experts from 9 member states for regional peace.
Discuss issues of policy and just strategic ideas to make us a better reactive force.
Military officers, experts and civilian components of the Eastern Africa Standby Force have gathered at 4 Points Sheraton Hotel, Kampala, attending a high-level meeting aimed at promoting regional peace and security.
Our role is to examine issues carefully, assess their implications objectively, and develop recommendations that are practical and balanced and and capable of guiding the decisions of the Committee of the Chiefs of Defense and Security and ultimately the Council of Ministers.
The Standby Force mandate is to enhance peace, security and stability in the region.
Institutions such as the Eastern Africa Standby Force become increasingly important, not only because of what they are capable of doing in times of crisis, but because of the confidence they inspire in times of peace. Strong institutions reassure our citizens, they strengthen confidence among nations, they create the conditions within which development, investment, and regional integration.
The scenarios that we respond to are, of course, the usual peace operations, but we also participate in mediation to avoid conflict. As you're all probably aware, it is better to avert conflict than to actually engage in conflict.
The meeting seeks to translate political commitments into practical and deployable capabilities of the Eastern Africa Standby Force.
Important for us to build internal resilience for the continuity of this cause in which we are to integrate both as a region and as a continent. So this reduction in external support to peace operations, including ASOM, sends a clear message that Africa must increasingly prepare to shoulder greater responsibility for its own peace and security.
The Chief of Joint Staff, Lieutenant General Jack Bakasumba, urged the participants
to focus on realistic planning and people-centered regional security.
I therefore encourage you to use this opportunity to engage with openness, mutual respect, and intellectual curiosity. Let your deliberations be guided not only by national perspectives, but also by the broader interests of our region and the aspirations of the millions of citizens who look to institutions such as the Eastern Africa Standby Force as guarantors of peace, stability, and hope.
The outcomes from the expert working group meeting will inform subsequent meetings of chiefs of defense staff and defense ministers later in the week. Haruna Mutesasira, UBC News.
Entebbe Regional Referral Hospital has raised concern over inadequate staffing which affects service delivery. Health workers appealed to Public Service Commission to recruit nurses and medical personnel to address the gaps.
During the Entebbe Municipality MP Shaka Stephen Gashaija visit to Entebbe Regional Referral Hospital, there arose issues on health service delivery. He was on a fact-finding mission arising from public complaints on negligence and poor service delivery.
I want to know in the CT scan, what are the percentage uptime during the last 12 hours? I'm going to give you a list of what I want. About staff shortages, the medicine shortages, I need to know.
The drugs we already received, 72 were types of drugs were not received. In another cycle, 92 of the drugs, actually this is important, are not received.
In an engagement with hospital management and health workers, the medical staff raised inadequate staffing to meet the increasing number of patients seeking medical attention.
Honorable, we have done 3,000 x-rays, an increase from 1,500. And honorable, we are doing all this with one x-ray machine.
We have complained, we have cried. They say you only find only one nurse on the ward. It is true because they are not enough. Yet, we are not supposed to work alone. We are supposed to work in pairs with nursing. And a doctor cannot work alone minus a nurse.
There is also an encouragement where someone should come with the emergency items that the first person, the first respondent should use on them in case, let's say, she delivered on the road. But our mothers come with totally nothing, and this also affects the stocks that we get.
Meanwhile, MP Shak Gashaija pledged to engage relevant authorities for a solution.
Yes, they have made a submission of 89 nurses, but we don't know when they will come. They may even come next year or at the end of the year. My request is, can you help us to quicken the recruitment?
It's not good enough to point, but we must also thank you that you have fought so hard to keep Grade B Hospital. Yet you are understaffed, you don't have enough money, you don't have so many things. I want you to keep on the good spirit, the patriotism. Us as your leaders and as the honorables, we are going to ensure that you are supported.
Entebbe Regional Referral Hospital serves patients from Entebbe and surrounding areas, including the islands of Kalangala and the districts of Butambala, Mpigi and Wakiso district.
We thank you so much for watching. Let's take a break.
And that's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando, like a daily bando, like a daily bando. Omuliro nguwulira muli mumutima kukankana like drums. Kalakata, kalakata, enendungu ya kusabula. Mikono free of fire.
We don't need anyone's permission to move forward. What we need is the power to do it our way. Spiro is not your typical EV company. It's the power grid for African ambition. A network that connects Nairobi to Kigali, Lagos to Lome, Dar to Kampala. Not with cables and wires, but with clean, quiet, relentless movement. This is Africa, powered by us.
What if accessing government services became easier, faster, and closer to you? Introducing Service Uganda Centers, a new initiative designed to bring key government services closer to the people under one convenient location. Less movement from office to office, less unnecessary travel, better access to services and information. At the Service Uganda Centers, citizens will be able to access national ID services, passport processing, business registration, land and revenue services, and more, all in one convenient location. Whether you are in the city or up country, Service Uganda Centers are being designed with you in mind. Enjoy faster service, professional guidance, and a seamless customer experience. This is an initiative of the Government of Uganda, digitally powered by the National Information Technology Authority Uganda, NITA, under the Uganda Digital Acceleration Project Government Network. Service Uganda Centers, bringing services closer to the people.
We thank you so much for watching and welcome back from the break. Uganda's Vocational and Technical Assessment Board, UVTEB, has commenced the July to August national examinations for trainees in technical and vocational institutions across the country. We have it in detail.
The July to August UVTEB examinations have started across the country with over 50,000 trainees pursuing different technical and vocational disciplines, sitting for the July-August series. At Lugogo Vocational Training Institute, 477 trainees were registered for the examination series, which covers 9 disciplines.
There are exams that are going to run on up to 22nd of this month. We have registered so far, we registered 477 trainees. Exams have started on well and progressing well. We don't have any problem with it so far. It here today, the whole country, all the TVET institutions are running it.
The examinations, which run until August the 22nd, are conducted concurrently in TVET institutions across the country.
According to my observation, students are doing it very well because they have tried to move in different institutions. I have not had any challenges or that maybe students have been caught trying to cheat exams.
The assessments demonstrate that practical skills uptake can translate into employment and self-employment.
We have always said that vocational education is hands-on skills.
We really appreciate for TVET Council and UVTEB for the change of new curriculum because it is mostly emphasizing on hands-on practicals.
Some trainees say the first papers have provided an insight for them to prepare for a translation into the world of work.
What I expect after this paper, I expect to go for industrial training into the field. I expect to make a hands-on engineer.
I'm from doing my first paper and it was fair. They brought what we had studied. And my future plans is to improve on installation of water.
UBC News tonight. Uganda is hosting a regional training for 23 African countries to strengthen the accuracy and quality of tuberculosis diagnosis. Experts warn that delays in diagnosis fuel TB transmission and death.
Designated Uganda's National TB Reference Laboratory as a national reference laboratory to support TB diagnostic capacity in the region.
Capacitating the region, the African region, in terms of quality assurance for TB diagnostic in the network. This is the network which covers the region which is supposed to detect tuberculosis early but also accurately, so that people can be put on treatment for a disease which really is heavily found in this region. We have one of the highest burden in the world, but also the highest case fatality, meaning that by the time when they diagnose you, you still die in care for a disease which has a treatment, has a cure.
The participants are equipped with skills in quality management and proficiency testing, as well as practical knowledge on newer TB diagnostic technologies.
We make sure that when we diagnose, the diagnosis is accurate. When we say you have the disease, you really have the disease. Or you say you don't have the disease, you really don't have, meaning we don't miss many cases.
Juloba says patients in some areas travel long distances to reach facilities with modern diagnostic equipment, delaying detection and increasing the risk of transmission.
Patients take long to access diagnosis, especially quality diagnosis. Why? Because much as we have gotten modern equipment, which are recommended, and we have decentralized them nearly to health center 3s, and health center 4s, but not all health center 4s and 3s are covered, meaning that people have to walk longer distances, and sometimes they are not able, and that really delays the diagnosis.
The participants are also learning from Uganda's experience in producing proficiency testing panels used to assess whether laboratories are accurately detecting TB.
I really appreciate Uganda because they are the ones that have made Kenya to be where we are, especially in PT production. We've worked for them for so many years under the EXA health community, and for now, as I've said, we have new, and I've learned a lot right now. They have a state-of-art lab, yes, I appreciate that, and then new technologies that you have seen.
Activities to overall manage the quality assurance process, starting from pre-analytical to post-analytical, because it is very important for the TB program to eliminate TB.
The International War Crimes Division High Court has dispensed former Butambala MP Muhammad Mwanga Chivumbi from reporting to court as one of the bail conditions. Our reporter from court has it in detail.
At Butambala Chief Magistrate's Court, former Butambala County Member of Parliament Muhammad Mwanga Chivumbi and 22 others are facing charges of terrorism. All the accused were recently released on bail before Justice Susan Okalany of the International War Crimes Division Court on conditions that they will report to court every second week of the month. Although Mwanga Chivumbi co-accused appeared in court today, Mwanga Chivumbi didn't make it to court. Chivumbi's legal team informed court that the accused was rearrested and is on remand on charges of inciting violence and managing unlawful society.
But court has dispensed with the appearance of the Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi for as long as he's still on remand or in prison, since it takes judicial notice that he cannot appear under such circumstances. So that means the 22 will keep on appearing like they have done today in satisfaction of that condition.
With the pending cases against Mwanga Chivumbi and other 22, lawyer Samuel Muize explained to us their readiness to defend their clients.
Ours is just to respond. If you have a state, the onus or proof, onus of proof is on the state. It's not ours. Ours is to defend our clients. We've always told you we have a file which has no statement whatsoever. So it is just a rare case that doesn't have any evidence. It is simply a holding charge. There is no evidence whatsoever. Decisions on bail, court was very clear that if this matter, effective the date when bail was granted, does not proceed to the hearing stage within 1 year, this court will have to review the terms or conditions of bail.
Lawyer Muizi told UBC that the proceedings in inciting violence and managing unlawful society against Mwanga Chivumbi is scheduled for tomorrow in Butambala Chief Magistrate's Court.
For further hearing of his bail application, specifically the response or reply by the state which is opposing his bail application.
In the case of terrorism against Muwanga Kivumbi, 22 others and others still at large, prosecution alleges that the accused committed acts of terrorism between 11th and 17th January 2026 in various parts of Uganda, including Kibibi Town Council and Gombe Town Council in Butambala District. Deborah Namamonde, Aisha Msanya, UBC News.
In respect of the media fraternity in Kasese have decried lack of information sharing by public officers, which they say affects their service delivery. This was disclosed during an engagement with the woman MP for the district, Sarah Itungu, in Kasese.
Journalist based in Kasese says that public servants deny them access to information in fear of painting them with corruption.
So now we are getting intimidation, but we call upon the public, those people in public offices, to be free to give us information. Because if I come to you, it doesn't mean that I'm coming to you, I want maybe to blackmail you. No, I'm looking to tell the truth. Because journalism is not a crime. If I come to you asking you about a certain road, why is it that it has not been done, and since the funds were out, it is not a crime.
Bitwande Jerome from South Rwenzori Messiah Radio also requested the woman member of parliament to avail journalists with new information about government programs. However, the Kasese district woman MP urged the media to remain steadfast and inform the public about government programs.
Everything from the grassroots, if we do not have media, we would not know the performance of the government programs that are prevailing in this district and this nation. So I really appreciate the media for bringing out the successes and the failures and the gaps of government projects and programs in their implementation. In Kasese here, PDM has been uplifted so much, and in yoga. When you look at the coverage of PDM, how it was covered here in Kasese, and that's why the president continuously says Kasese is the best performing district in the whole of Uganda via PDM, because our media team in Kasese made sure they cover the success stories of the entire district, and I appreciate them.
MTN voice bundle. Load. Hey. Hello, Mama. Hey, it is me, your son, Opio. Hey, now, Mama, listen to me. MTN has the offer. Yes, it has the offer. You load from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Now they have free MTN to MTN minutes. And those minutes are there all day. So you load, you'll thank me later. Hey, Mama.
Load an MTN voice bundle between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. and get 3 free MTN to MTN minutes valid all day. Dial *100 *21# and get your free minutes bully daily. Free your fire with free minutes from MTN. Together, our connection is unstoppable. MTN.
We don't need anyone's permission to move forward. We never have. What we need is the power to do it our way. To move our people, our goods, our ideas across cities that breathe with our energy. Spiro is not your typical EV company. It's the power grid for African ambition. A network that connects Nairobi to Kigali, Lagos to Lome, Dar to Kampala. Not with cables and wires, but with clean, quiet, relentless movement. Every swap keeps the city running. Every ride links one life to another. We're copying no one else's future. It's we who powers the cities we live in. It's we who shapes the world they'll become. This is Africa, powered by us.
The Presidential Initiative for Skilling the Girl and Boy Child, a project under State House, informs all divisions of Kampala that registration for young girls and boys of the 15 to 35 years age bracket will take place on Thursday 13th of August 2026, with training starting on Monday 17th of August 2026 at the following skilling centers: Wandegea Market, Mulago Catholic Church, All Saints Church of Uganda Mutundwe, Nakulabye Chiwunya Our Lady of Fatima Catholic Church, Luzira Prisons at St. Stephen's Church of Uganda Luzira, Subway Crested Towers Roundabout, Wabigalo Parish Community Hall, Butikira Parish Catholic Church Chigowa Antinda, and Makere Chikweni Community Hall. Registration and training are free of charge. To register, bring a photocopy of your national ID or your parents' or the guardian's ID for minors, signed and stamped by the LC1 with their phone contact, plus 4 recent passport photos. For more information, call 0716 144 562 or 0414 343 457 and 0414 343 458.
Business news tonight. Africa has a tremendous opportunity to grow its international meetings, incentives, conferences, and events. However, the industry players say that the continent still has a huge task ahead.
Africa's hotel and hospitality industry continues to face challenges ranging from visa restrictions and ease of entry and departure to inadequate airport infrastructure. Industry players are also calling for improved regional connectivity, easier travel within Africa, and greater implementation of the Open Skies policy to facilitate movement and boost tourism and business travel.
We need to create in each country enabling environment, starting from when you enter the country through visa structure, through road infrastructure, time of travel, to facilities to accommodate very large number of customers coming in. What happens is when there is a shortfall of customers, most brands start competing on price. Now that is very dangerous because we dilute our average room rates and ADRs, and in the end we suffer because we cannot renovate our properties because we don't have enough income to do that.
With over 20 years of operations in Uganda, Serena Hotels Kampala property is among the country's long-established high-end hotel facilities. But over the years, new international and local brands have entered the market, intensifying competition.
We welcome them because competition is healthy. It keeps you on your toes, it makes you innovative, it makes you find ways to become lean and competitive to face the competition. But what I discourage mostly is playing the price war game, what we call yield management. We must make sure that we maintain our rates so that we can make some decent profit and look after our people and our properties as well.
Sharma says Uganda's growing economy, rising tourist numbers, and increasing ability to host international events are creating fresh opportunities for investment in the hospitality sector.
Yeah, we traveled like 13 hours in a car from Mtepe to here.
In Uganda, we are looking at a couple of opportunities right now at Queen Elizabeth Park and Bwindi. So we hope to expand our tourism in Uganda. And in the region, we've been invited places like South Sudan, Somalia and other places, but security becomes an issue.
According to the Uganda Bureau of Statistics, the country has at least 103,000 accommodation beds distributed across approximately 6,300 accommodation facilities nationwide. Dennis Igoa for UBC.
We thank you so much for watching. Let's take a short break and return with sports news.
The Uganda People's Defense Forces invites you to the second edition of the UPDF-CDF Inter-Forces Drill Competition. Join us on Tuesday, 25th August 2026 at the Kololo Ceremonial Grounds for an electrifying showcase of precision drill, synchronized formations, discipline, and military excellence. Under the theme Precision, Discipline, and Cohesion, Pillars of National Resilience and Transformation. Witness UPDF formations battle for the coveted Inter-Forces Drill Championship. Who will take the crown? Will it be the Land Forces, Air Force, Special Forces Command, Field Artillery, Motorized Infantry, Marines Brigade, Directorate of Women Affairs, Military Police, or one of the 1st to 5th Divisions? The event will be presided over by the Chief of Defense Forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba. For more information, call 0392 947 455.
In the world of sport, the 2026 Johnny Walker Uganda Open Golf Championship has officially been launched, with organizers promising a month of competitive golf.
The 2026 Johnny Walker Uganda Open Golf Championship will run from August 13th to September 5th at the Uganda Golf Club, bringing together professional, amateur, senior and female golfers from Uganda, East Africa and across the continent.
As you know, previously we've had Portuguese winners, we've had winners from the US, we've had winners from Zimbabwe, Zambia and South Africa. So expect a huge field and expect this to be a much better event than we've ever had before.
The championship was launched with a putting challenge on the 18th hole, setting the tone for a tournament organizers say will combine sporting excellence with culture, fashion, music and lifestyle. Johnny Walker East Africa brand manager Christine Chokunda says that their commitment seeks to elevate the tournament beyond the golf course through the Afro Exchange experience that is centered around the 19th hole.
It will be a different kind of 19th hole experience that our consumers should be looking forward to for the amateurs and the professionals. The ladies obviously will be a she walks experience as we have always done, and that will be also an amazing experience to look forward to.
Uganda Golf Union President Jackson Were says the Uganda Open remains vital to the development of golf and Uganda's growing reputation as a golfing destination.
The event comes at a time when we are still growing the game of golf and we are exposing our professionals to even better competitive opportunities. Right after the week of the professionals, they will be moving to play the Sunshine Development Tour event at Entebbe Club, which is also going to be played for 70 million, but also it's a world ranking event, the first time in the history of Uganda to have professionals ranked.
The event opens on August 13th to 15th with the Johnny Walker Ladies Open, which is recognized as a World Amateur Golf Ranking event. The Seniors Open follows from August 21st to 22nd, before the Amateur Open runs from August 25th to 28th. The Professional Open will climax the championship from September 2nd to 5th. The championship will also feature the ABSA Pro Am, offering Ugandan golfers opportunities for higher level exposure.
That brings us to the end of all we had for you. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Micheal Jordan Lukomwa. On behalf of the whole team, enjoy the rest of the night and the new week.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
All of Africa, welcome everyone.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the